Good evening, everybody. It's Mr. Sarpy here with the Sarpy Message for 1023. Again, our focus for this fourth and final message in this series has been about planning and executing great lessons. And we're now on question 4. What do we do when students have learned it? Or how do we prepare for when students are going to be successful in what it is they have to learn? And so for this opportunity, I want to give you Miss Donat as she kind of takes us through in different places the 4 parts of the questions.
Hey guys, I'm Madeline Donat. I'm the Spanish teacher here at Mesquite High School. I want to share with you guys a strategy that I used in my Spanish 3 class the other day. I learned it from ETIP because I'm taking the course right now, so hopefully it's helpful for you guys. But it is a tier lesson strategy where we divide the class into 3 groups, A, B, and C. And what I'm trying to do with this with my students is kind of assess them of where they're at and not reteach the students that already have learned. Just trying to focus on the kids who really need the help. So what I do is I create an assignment and I give it to them, like this sheet over here. And I give them about a minute to look over it. And what I do after the minute is I ask them, okay guys, so do you feel like you're an A, that you totally get this, you can work on it completely independently? Or do you feel like you're a B, that you mostly get this, but you need some clarifying questions? Or do you feel like you're a C, I am having some trouble understanding and I could use a mini lesson over this? So once I explain the kids what these 3 types of groups are, they get the chance to write it at the top of their paper on the square if they're an A, a B, or a C. Once I do that, I tell the A kids that they can go to the back of the class and they're going to work independently on their own with no help from a book or no help from anything. They should know it from their knowledge. And the B's and the C's, they come to the front of the room. Once I get them all seated, I ask the B's, okay, what are your clarifying questions? So they get to ask me questions, and it could be about the lesson, it could be about how you feel in the exercise, it could be about anything that they're having trouble with. And once I answer their question and they're clarified, they mark their B off, they put an A, and they go to the back of the classroom to work independently. And then once all the B's have clarified their questions and got their answers and they're working independently, I start working and giving a mini lesson to the group C. In these mini lesson, I'm just going to review what they don't understand, reteach again, and make sure they understand it until they can work independently on the assignment that I would like for them to work on. I really like this strategy because it gives the kids who need another reteach, the lesson, a chance to listen to it again. I also like it because the kids who don't need to be retaught, they get to work independently, all with the goal of doing the assignment that I need them to do and make sure that they are in the right pace. So that is it. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Donat, for that information. So some questions to consider for question 4. What resources do you use to extend the learning for students who exhibit mastery of the skill that's being taught? And then how do you plan different thinking around those skills being taught? Something to consider is thinking about blooms, for example. If the teak verb is identified, how do you challenge those 4s or challenge those who have shown that mastery to now explain or to analyze? Perhaps how do they move up blooms in the level of thought that's greater than the teak verb that you have? So just some things to consider as we are planning and executing great lessons. Lastly, thank you so much for a wonderful experience with Swarm. There's so many people to thank, and we've sent that out, but you guys have just done a wonderful job with that. I think everybody seemed very excited, and we've heard wonderful things from our community with Swarm, so we look forward to making it even better next year. Again, thank you for all that you do. Continue to treat one another in loving ways. We empower, we impact, we love. We are Skeeter Nation.